I'm thinking about making a thumbnail. Damn. I guess I'll make one at a later date. So welcome to Disruptive Minds. I'm your host, Jerome A. Carter, and the A stand for always learning. Look, this is why your life sucks. Let me tell you why your life sucks. And yes, before anybody says, yes, I am in my mom's basement. I am in my mom's basement. Your life sucks because you keep doing the same thing over and over, expecting different result. You're in the merry-go-round. You're waking up, you're doing the same thing again and again and again. Don't confuse movement with progress. A merry-go-round moves. Okay, it's a circle. It moves. It's constantly moving. There's no progress. You're not progressing anything. You're not doing anything different. You're doing the same thing that you've been doing, but you feel like, okay, I'm older now. I'm doing more now. No, you're not. You're not. You're wasting your time. You're wasting a lot of time. Unless you're documenting things, unless you're writing things down, unless you actually have some type of what I call PAM. What is PAM? Purpose, aim, and mission. You have no purpose. You have no aim. You have no mission. You're just waking up and you're just doing life. That's not how life works. And that's why it seems like you're not getting nothing accomplished or you're not doing anything. But anyway, let's move on. I'm going to talk about I'm going to clarify some things. I know about now you listened to a couple of my lives, and it's like you don't know exactly, because I'm putting things out in video, but now since I can do live or go live, I can explain things out more. Now right now there's this whole, I got my notes over here, so you see me looking over here is my notes. Why? Because I write things down. When it comes to the American Black community, all right? And I say the American Black community has no culture. What am I talking about exactly? Because I've been listening to other content creators, and what they're saying is, what they're addressing is the culture of the arts, the foods, the music, the things like that. And that's all part of culture, which is great, right? However, when I talk about culture, or when I talk about mental health, I'm always going to talk about the foundation. What is the foundation? What's the foundation of the thing? Whatever the thing is, what is the foundation? The foundation of a house is a cement block that the house is built on top of. That's the foundation. What's the foundation of when you're cooking something? Let's say you're cooking duck à l'orange. The foundation is the duck. Let's say you're making a cake. The foundation is the flour. You see what I'm saying? There's a foundation to these things. It's not just random out here. So when I say the American Black community has no culture, I'm talking about the foundation of the American Black community. Now, what do I mean when I say foundation? What is the foundation of the American Black community? It's the family. And that's where the conflict starts to come in at, right? Because through the world, there is a foundation that these different cultures have. And that foundation is the family. And who is the head of the family? The man. But when you come to the United States, it gets real confusing real quick, right? Because it's like, what is the foundation? The foundation of the United States when it comes to family, it's mom, children, cat, dog, fish. The man is somewhere in there, right? But the mom is the foundation. And that's where things start to get real. Like, other cultures are not looking to the American Black community for advice on family. Now, when it comes to music, when it comes to arts, entertainment, sports, of course, yeah. They'll imitate that. But they won't imitate the family section of it. They won't imitate the family. And why is that? Because they know the woman can't be in charge of the family. It just doesn't work that way. That's where you get RBMs from. Where's RBMs? Raised by mom, right? So they tend to be more illogical, irrational, and highly emotional. How do I know? As I said, I'm an RBM. So I know how this works. I know what these men are going through. That's why it's so easy to speak on it. Now, once you take out arts, entertainment, and food, the American Black community, you're right, they have no culture. When it comes to family, family is the foundation. Period. You can argue that all you want to. You're going to keep coming. When you argue against me on this, you're going to keep coming back to the same thing. You're going to keep saying, well, we invented things, okay? Well, black folk have been have been a black president, okay. Music, okay. Food, okay. But what's the foundation? The family. And if you don't get that right, does everything else really even matter? You know, that whole conversation that on Club Shay Shay with I forgot that comedian's name. And he said when that drug dealer went overseas to China and he told them, y'all can't even organize crime. That's like a perfect example. Other nationalities, other people who are looking at the American black community, they see that. They see that we are not united. We're not connected. That's why it's so easy to divide us up. They see it. They see it. So they just roll with it. And I think it's hilarious because it's like we fight so much against that, but at the same time, that's what the foundation is. That's what the foundation is. All right, moving on. And you have this thing about now we're still talking about the American black community, still talking about the culture, and you have this discussion about when foreign-born people come to the United States, and they're talking to the American black men, and they're like, we're lazy. We're not out here getting it. We're not out here doing this. We're not out here doing that. You know what I'm saying? And it irks us because it's like looking from the outside in, it looks like we're not doing anything. Not realizing that we were born under a system that we're constantly applying pressure on a daily basis. There's a constant pressure applied to the American black male. Constant, consistent pressure. And that's when I made the video about rage. To be a black man in this country is to always feel like you're enraged because there's always pressure. So when you're raised up in that, you're born into that, you just feel a certain type of way. You're like mentally and physically exhausted because there's always this pressure. So when a foreign-born person comes to the United States and they're just like, man, there's so much you do. You can get houses, you can do this, you can do that. We understand that process. We understand that happens. However, it's like, damn. It's like you're already so mentally exhausted and tired of just being a black man in this country. That a lot of times, especially now when more pressure, economic pressure is down on us, when more family pressure is down on us, it's like just day to day is becoming day to day. Right? But we're not claiming that we're victims either. We're not walking around, oh, we're a victim, we're a victim. There are some who are. There's always going to be a group. People say, not all, not all. Nothing's 100% except death and taxes. If you don't realize nothing's 100% except death and taxes, you shouldn't be on this channel. So if you have to write in the comments, well, not all, well, not all, well, I know some. There's something called statistics. There's something called a bell curve. Research and find out what it is. And that's one thing I'm not going to do. I'm not going to give you like Medium Man who does stats and statistics and post that stuff. Nah, I'm not going to work for you. I'm just not. Just know if I'm telling you something, I've read it and I got it. Just know that that's how I function. I'm not just going to randomly say anything because I know you can look this stuff up. It's Googleable. Everything's Googleable. But I'm not going to put something out there for you to just say, no, that's not true. And then later on, like, you find out it is because you're going to refuse it anyway. So, I say all that to say, I just wanted to clarify the American black community and what do I mean by when it says they do not have culture. I'm talking about the family itself. Does the American black community have culture? Yes. I'm talking about the foundation of the American black community.